When I launched the Coursera Operations Management course in the fall of 2012, we had 80,000 students signed up. That was an enormous success that has really touched me. And one of the things I was most excited about is that about 80% of these participants were not students in a traditional sense. These were people out there in practice, running businesses, running operations, and their motivation of taking the course was they wanted to improve their businesses. They didn't want to do well on some final exam or the homework. They really came to this course with an intent of changing the way that they managed. Now, as a professor, I believe that the content that we offer in this course is directly applicable to the way that you out there in practice run your businesses. However, I do appreciate that the needs and the ability of an executive, of a manager in a company are different from those of an undergraduate student who is preparing for a final exam. And with that heterogeneity in mind, I have created basically two ways in which you can take this course. There's a practitioner track, which is all about changing your operations, and there's a more academic track. I strongly encourage you to take both, but again, I do want to allow people to take different emphasis as they are working through the 6 to 8 weeks associated with this course. Now, I have to confess that I really didn't realize the power and the ability of the Coursera communities and the people enrolled in my operations management class till about halfway through the course. Then, looking at the forum activities, looking at the type of questions and comments I saw there, I really realized that there is a unique opportunity in a course like this one to bring in the practical experience of the community and really support people in their effort of improving their operations. So what I did is I created what I called the Coursera Operations Challenge. And the way the Coursera Operations Challenge was designed is I said, look, folks, if you have an application of something that we learned in this course, a tool that we have covered in a class that you have applied in your business, please post it. We have it peer graded. We'll have basically some sort of celebration around it. And as an incentive, I also allowed people who did this to waive out of some of the academic pieces of the curriculum. And I was overwhelmed by the quantity and the quality of the submissions. You see on this slide here a person who has analyzed the flow of a conveyor belt, has done bottleneck calculations, has rebalanced the line, and in an amazing level of detail and care applied some of the tools that we're talking about in the process analysis module. This person here has applied some lean operations tools that we'll cover in the module on productivity to a railcar loading operation. And again, it's really for me very exciting and touching to see with the level of care and the level of professionality that participants in this course have moved concepts from the academic drawing board into action. That's the motivation. That's kind of how I started with the idea of the Coursera Operations Project. Now, the Coursera Operations Project is designed to take the success that I experienced with the Coursera Operations Challenge to the next level. Instead of having a single submission, the idea of the Coursera Operations Project is that we have 5 milestones at which participants are submitting very specific deliverables. Now, that creates for me a little bit of a challenge. On the one hand, I want to have specific deliverables that we can stay close to the course and I can tell you what to do. On the other hand, I realize that the businesses that are represented in this course are very heterogeneous and we cannot apply a cookie-cutter solution. The way I try to resolve this tension is by articulating this 5-step problem-solving framework, which I think is applicable to you independent whether you want to improve the responsiveness of dental offers, whether you want to increase the productivity of a steel plant. Again, I think the flow of the problem-solving steps are very generic. So here's how it works. So the problem-solving steps are starting with a sensing of the problem, collecting some data to analyze the status quo, defining a specific outcome measure that you want to improve, reflecting about opportunities for improvement, and then thinking about the financial consequences of these operational improvements, and then really going and trying out something, trying to alter something in your operations. Now, each of these 5 steps is linked directly to some questions that we will discuss in the class, and through a set of other videos. In fact, I will have a video for each of these milestones. Through a set of other videos, I will explain to you more what I'm expecting from you. Moreover, every one of these steps links very directly to a set of tools and frameworks that we will introduce in the academic lectures. So there's a direct relationship between the academic content and your Coursera operations project. Again, the framework here is generic. I think, again, it will work for all your operations. It's linked to the course material. For each of these milestones, you will get some detailed instructions, and I will also illustrate these milestones working with 2 local businesses here in Philadelphia that have volunteered to be guinea pigs, if you wish, in the Coursera operations project, where I will show through video how we apply this 5-step problem-solving framework to their businesses. Let me articulate the vision behind this. If we get this to work, and we get, again, a couple of thousand people submitting projects in that format, we will be creating a library of solutions of how people like you improve their operations. I think this is a unique opportunity. We'll be rewriting the books of business, if you wish. Instead of me telling you how to do things, we'll have the collective community come forward here and sharing the things that worked, and, to be very open, the things that did not work for them. Some of those we can address then through the forum, through the community, and I intend to run a couple of other social media challenges to address these shortcomings. But we will have a library over time of thousands of companies demonstrating what works for them, which will really make us have a real impact on practice. Now, I realize that the Coursera Operations Project is a ton of work. With that in mind, I want to offer you the following deal. If you complete the Coursera Operations Project, you will basically be exempt from all homeworks and the final exam. Now, the Coursera Operations Project is a serious endeavor in the sense that this is more about than just posting a couple of random thoughts that you have. These 5 milestones that I previously articulated correspond to 5 deliverables. These 5 deliverables will be put up there for peer grading, meaning that a set of other Coursera participants, just like you, will look at the deliverables and will be the ones grading them. Remember, at scale, I cannot look at all of your projects, so this will create a grading mechanism at scale. It will also give you the opportunity of getting feedback from your work. Beyond just getting a score, like a 3 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5, people can give you very specific recommendations with the idea of making your deliverables even better. Having said this, of course, you can take the course without the Coursera Operations Project, in which case you have to do the homeworks and the final exam. It is my hope that the content in this course is reinforced through homework and the exam, and it is applicable to your work through the Coursera Operations Project. So I'm of course very excited if some of you are attempting to do both of these tracks simultaneously, in which case you will pass this course with a distinction.